All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to do a lovely experimentation here. What I'm going to be doing is that I'm going to be comparing the scout video. Now, not comparing the scout video. I just want to quickly find my scout video. But in that video, I pretty much stated that, you know, from this point on, I'm not going to be using like the hero token system or whatever, just disassembling. I'm just going to be scouting. So this is where I'm at right now, right? So as you can see, I'm really close to getting that extra Janai, working hard, putting in that hard work. We're gonna also need a notepad for this, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna need a notepad because what I'm gonna be doing is that these, not the 170s really, I'm gonna try to take, at least for the first part of it, characters that are definitely at least 100, and we're gonna take all those and then see what we can get out of those. I think the last time I threw in 2 Maggies in a more recent video, right? We put in 2 of the Maggies in there, and I think Maggie is like a 120 whatever, but kind of messes up the math. But we'll just pretend, we'll use pretend land. You're guaranteed to get a faded, and if it's a high-end faded, then it's not that bad. The reason why we're doing this experiment, before I even drop the intro, is to see, is it just better to throw in the low 100 ones or possibly even the 120s, and then those will give you this ticket. This ticket will give you the 500 minimum, 500 minimum faded hero for the scout system. And if not, just give you a general, is it just better to constantly do that over and over and over again instead of going for the scout? So without further ado, Skidamarinky you think you do, let's get into it. Now, first part of this is to write down each thing that we're gonna put in. So it's gonna take me a little bit, but I'm gonna try to get every single faded here to see the value. Like, I don't like, if you throw in a bunch of these 200s, I feel like the 200s are a little bit better to actually just keep them or to throw into here, because 200 a couple times is not that bad. As you can see, Maggie is a 170, which you know, I feel like that's a little bit too high to be throwing in there. But the Sabrinas here are definitely pretty good. Sabrina is 100, so throwing in a bunch of Sabrinas, you know, if we were to do, obviously it's 2 at a time, so 200 you do 500, and it's 200 you do it 5 times, that's 1,000. So like, that's 1,000 points that you could have possibly just put into here, right? That's 1,000. But if you were to put it in that, you get 1,000 and you get back 500 at minimum. Kind of seems like it's a, you know, not as good, but you still have a good chance each time you're doing that to get 500 when you're doing that, or a one that's a little bit higher. So I do think that there is some merit to that. All right, we got all of the lovely members. I got it down. So for the 200 bracket, we have Falar, Baraka, Ulum, Ramsey, Shell, Kylok, John Donk. I think it could be a little bit off, and of course there you go, Azeon. There should be 8 of them, obviously. These regions, the last 3 regions, unfortunately, you know, Carries, Schmid, and Dorka won't have a 170, but 170 is like Maggie, Bernadette, Talia, Emma, and some of them I don't have because I don't have the actual faded there. So what I want to do is I want to start off with the ones that I know are 100, and that will kind of show us a little bit thing. Like us, like I said, doing 2 170s is not really the best. Not really the best, I think, in that option. But Sabrina, we know that 2 Sabrinas are 100. So if this turns into a 200, then that's, you lost 30 scout points pretty much there, which isn't the worst, you know, thing to lose. So, and that gave me an Anna, which we know is 100. So we traded 200s for another 100, so going to Sabrina's again. Now obviously I'm not going to take any of the ones that cost 500. I think that that's important to note. If one costs 500, then to not use that, because that would be really good for the scout system. Now I don't know how, like, you would mathematically, like someone that's probably really good at math, so there goes John Donk. Now John Donk is a 200, and I feel like that's something that you would kind of want to keep, because it would, especially because Carry is like literally the best one. Any like ones that they get from there would be pretty good. So what else do we have here? Another 100 that's in there. See, I don't want to do, but see how Talia is a really common character, which is kind of weird. She's a 170. So we're gonna throw away both of these Annas. Who else is that? Oh yeah, we still got the Burnavisses to do. So that's another option for us to just kind of get rid of those. I feel like this list might help others. So we got another Sabrina back. Okay, like trading, I feel like trading the 100s back to back is not that bad, because eventually you get this. And like I said, it's a decent shot. Where is it? Bernie Sanders. Where is he? Oh yeah, he's all the way down here. You have to be careful I don't take one that has like a bunch of things. I probably might have already done that with Sabrina accidentally, because I do have a built Sabrina. So, and that got me Chatty. Chatty, I don't remember what she is. She might be something, but boom, we get the ticket. I'm gonna pop the ticket as I get them. So this ticket obviously is gonna give me at least a 500 or a general itself. So Rara is a 500. Now before I was actually throwing these into the thing, right? Which is not really the way that you'd want to do it. You don't want to throw that into here because that's 500. So these 500s will definitely give you a big boost into it. And what else am I gonna do? My rare is already kind of maxed. Okay, and Chatty is 100. If I can add that to my thing as well. So Chatty's a really good one to throw away. Especially because most of these things, the reason why I'm doing it obviously because they're +5. So I can go away with this extra one and this extra one, and that's gonna give me 1,000. That's a pretty big boost to my thing. But throwing in these don't seem really worth it. So we're gonna do another set. So how would that work out? So that was my first 5 set, right? So I did 4 of them were hundreds of hundreds. So 4 of them is 800, and then one was 340 because I did 2 Maggies. So 800 plus 340 is going to equal a 140. So that's pretty easy. Did that math in my head because I'm a god. So that's how many points I sacrificed for a 500. So 640 over it. But again, it's still the chance. I think that you have to also incorporate the chance of getting something good alongside of it. Like you also have to keep that in mind. Like you also have the chance of getting something really good when you're doing this. So I guess I start using the Talias here, which kind of sucks, not gonna lie, because the Talias are a little bit higher. They do give 170 a pop. We are experimenting here, and we'll technically get more Talias in the future. So we get an Anna back on that, and that's 4, and then we're gonna do one more using the 100 and another Talia, and that should give us Emma, which is a 170 as well. Now we're gonna put this and use it and see what we get.
I'll lend a hand to you. Get ready.
And Zion, which is a 500 for Rachel. Now it's also important to note that all the ones that I've used so far don't even boost up Rachel's signature force. So that's kind of what I'm saying. Like we put in a whole bunch from a bunch of other signature force. I meant scouts. You guys know what I'm saying. So we put in a whole bunch of other ones from different regions, but then it's gonna come back and let's give us a 500 for Rachel. But like I said, I can keep doing this over and over again. I guess as you guys can obviously see that I could keep doing it. Now it's 500. It's gonna bring that even closer, and we're getting closer and closer and closer to it. But what do you guys think so far? Like, okay, now I'm gonna go into using the 170s, which is gonna technically be a big thing. Like, you know, each one that you're putting in is 340. Calculator, 340 times 5, which is 1700, which is not that bad of a progression, and that would be the Talia. So I forgot where Talia is from, but 1700 progression that I'm giving up for the possibility of only 500 is kind of, I think, bad. I think that as far as like progressing the thing, but we're also mixing that with usually a 100 in there, so it's usually not 1700 each time. And here goes the last one, boom, and it's Ramsey, which we know is a 200. I'm not using any of the 200s at the moment, so I should have checked if Bailey was a 200 somewhere. That's what I really should have did. All right, so we got another one, and here we go. Run the RNG.
Tell me if it hurts.
Why does she's like the only one that has that effect. So there goes CO. Now I do think that if you were to keep getting these, like the ones that from Brune, if I were to get Naomi's and things of that nature, that'd be great. I think the only reason why I haven't made a decision here is because I was waiting for one that's actually red for CC to get one that's actually red, so I didn't have to like go through the hassle of changing it. But as you can see, this is 1,000, 2,000 towards this progression if I were to use all of these right now. And then you also have this one, which is close to 1,000, but still pretty quick. Like once these get like once their signature forces get kind of boosted up there, they'll be very easy to hit, in my opinion. All right, let's do another set. I'm not done yet. Number 3. So that's a good one right there. That's a good hit. So we traded in 2 170s and got a 500. So that's really good. I don't know. I feel like I'm out though. I don't think I have any more, anything that's lower than a 200 now. I got this one Mahar here. All right, this is 4. Number 4, come on. So we got like the second okay, Sabrina, which is kind of reassuring. And then I'm gonna take a 200. I don't know which one though. Definitely not any of those. Maybe Ulum. Ulum is batteries, right? I guess. Just to hit it. It's fine. It's fine. It's 300. We got. Give me a 500 back. Por favor. Por favor. Talia, 170. Not as good. And this is gonna be the last one, and hopefully we get blessed.
I'll lend a hand.
Nope.
Get ready.
A lot of progression for Rachel, even though he's the King's Guard of Esta Republic, but whatever. I feel like they definitely butchered the whole way that the things work. Definitely doesn't seem like it's like any way correct. He's the King's Guard of Esta Restoris, which we saw, but he's for some reason boosts up Lenobre. Anywho, so we got another 1,000 for this one and progress it forward. But again, still feels weird. Now, yes, there are these legendaries here that do give 200 and these things that also give 120, which are really good, but you're not also looking for that. And I also think these are dead in the water now. With all the quality of life changes that they have in the game now, I feel like you don't even need to keep these units anymore. These rares, you don't need them anymore. Before there was that big chart, remember, that we had? And we would have this big old thing and you had to figure out what was what. And now I don't see the purpose of it. I mean, the only aspect that you would keep is a rare that has, I mean, they only give you 5 points, so it's not like you necessarily are dying to get rid of them. But, you know, unless they do something like what they did with Jean, but those are rares that you know have a name, not like this guy. This guy is obviously not getting anything. These jobbers here, you know. But, you know, if I would have got, let's imagine if I did, so I did 5 rolls of that, right? Sorry, I did 3. That would have been 1,500. I would have been closer. I mean, yes, I would have been at 22. Still pretty far off, but still closer if all those things would have hit into this thing. Meanwhile, I didn't get any good hits into Estes Republic, but they happen to hit into other ones. And, you know, especially if I would have got a Jin, or if I would have got, you know, the 200s. Like, I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say, but what do you guys think as far as it? Do you guys always throw your fadeds into that? Because after you plus 5 characters, even if you want to keep doing that, some characters I don't think deserve to be plus 5. I guess their max level increases, and yes, you can elemental enhance them. Getting a general just is, any way, in my personal opinion, that you get a general, I feel like you should prioritize that. Especially if you don't want to spend money. If you're not spending any money into the game, which I have not spent on any of these monthly things. I have not bought them. I didn't buy the last Exos pass. I'm not putting any money into the game right now. So any way that I can get a general in a cheeky way, or by just playing and grinding every day, I think that that's really important. So I do think that I still want the scout. I do think that they should lower the scout system, of course, and of course that would benefit me greatly if they were to even reduce it by half. You know, I'd be really close to getting an additional Rachel. I'd have an additional Janai already. I would be close to getting another Frankie, things like that. So it would benefit me in a great way, but at the same time, it would benefit a lot of other people. I don't know. Again, YFO's in the comment section below. MFO, I do think that maybe if you combine the door creation with that, especially only the lower ones, I did use a couple 200s or one, I think. I think if you save the 200s, but take the 100s and the 170s and throw them into the door creation, I think that will make it a little bit okay. But again, as you can see, of all those, even if you do all 100, that's 1,000 scout points that you're giving up each time, and possibly getting 100 back, which is 100, you know, scout point loss at that point. But you still progress towards something. I don't know. Someone give me the analytics. So I know someone's out there gonna drop me the mathematicals and show me, you know, it's actually really good or it's not that bad or whatever. Like, comment, subscribe if you guys enjoyed the video, and just remember that every day the Kashino is your lucky day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.